Chosen one, be still for just a moment and take a breath. Your presence here is not random. Heaven arranged this exact moment as a divine encounter, hidden within an ordinary video. If these words have reached you, it is because God's hand has found you at the appointed time, deep within. You have already felt it, the unusual movement in your spirit, the sacred tension that comes just before everything begins to change. This is not chance. It is confirmation. Even now, heaven is opening above your life. The barriers of delay are beginning to collapse, and streams of divine provision are being redirected in your direction. You are approaching the doorway of a supernatural financial release, not because you forced it through human effort, but because obedience positioned you to receive it. The God who caused the widow's oil to multiply in 2 Kings 4 is still able to increase what remains in your hands. Chosen one, the opposition you faced was never proof that you were denied. It was evidence that you were being prepared. Heaven has been arranging your position for abundance, sustained by grace and authorized by God. This is the season when faith becomes a resource and surrender becomes the door that unlocks what has been reserved for you. Raise your eyes. The dry season is ending. The rain has already started to fall. Heaven is pressing this message into your path because there is a miracle connected to it that belongs to your journey. Chosen one, pay close attention. You did not arrive here accidentally. This moment was written into your story long before you recognized its significance. God saw every sleepless night when you questioned whether He had forgotten you. He heard every quiet prayer you released into what felt like endless silence. But now, that silence is being interrupted. This is a spiritual update, not delivered by human reasoning, but carried by the Spirit of God. You have been standing in the space between what has already ended and what is preparing to begin. You have felt that unusual combination of pressure and peace living inside you. Do not mistake it for confusion. It is confirmation that something is shifting. Heaven is rearranging circumstances beyond what your eyes can currently perceive. Every delay, every door that refused to open, every prayer that seemed unanswered was part of a greater divine strategy. God was never turning you away. He was repositioning you. He was bringing your life back into alignment. None of the waiting was meaningless. Chosen one, you are standing on the threshold of a supernatural transfer, a divine exchange where what was lost is returned in greater measure. Heaven has been storing your blessings, interest included. You're about to see resources, favor, and opportunity converge all at once. This isn't random prosperity. This is purposeful provision. God is funding your mission because the assignment can't wait any longer. This next move won't demand more effort. It will require more faith. The striving season is over. Now comes the flow. When God steps in, what was hard becomes holy. What was delayed becomes delivered. You won't have to chase what's meant for you. It's already being magnetized toward your obedience. I know this feeling because I've lived it. I've watched doors open I didn't knock on. I've received calls I didn't expect. And every time I realize something sacred, God never forgets the faithful. I've been in that place where logic said, "It's over." But faith whispered, "Just wait." And just like that, favor appeared. Quiet, precise, undeniable, chosen one. That's what's about to happen to you. You've been proving your faith in small ways by showing up, by forgiving when it hurt, by staying kind when you were overlooked. Heaven took note. The Lord has been testing your stewardship in hidden places, and now He's promoting you in public ones. You've been faithful in the shadows. Now you're being released into the spotlight. Not for fame, but for function. What's coming next is not just for your comfort. It's for your calling. Heaven is assigning resources to match your responsibility. The dream that once seemed impossible is about to be funded by divine timing. Don't fear the unfamiliar. The new flow may look strange at first, but it's sacred. You are being positioned, not replaced. The blessing isn't late. It's landing right on schedule. Chosen one. Hear this clearly. You are next in line. The transaction has already been approved in Heaven's court. The proof will appear suddenly. A message. A meeting. A miracle. What once resisted you will now recognize you. The same soil that buried your seed will now bloom your harvest. So lift your head, steady your spirit, and stay ready. What's approaching isn't just increase. It's inheritance. You are stepping into the divine exchange prepared for you before time began. Chosen one. Listen. This next part is for the ones who've carried the weight quietly. The ones who kept giving when no one noticed. The ones who stayed kind when life was cruel. Heaven saw it all. Every tear you cried. Every time you almost quit but didn't. Every seed you planted that seemed forgotten. None of it was wasted. You've been sowing in the Spirit. And now the harvest is tracking you down. This is the truth. God is risking it all to tell you. You're about to step into a season where things finally make sense. Every closed door was protection. Every delay was preservation. You didn't miss your opportunity. God was saving it for when you were strong enough to carry it. He wasn't hiding blessings from you. He was hiding them for you. And now they're being released. Chosen one. The warfare you faced wasn't random. It was rehearsal. The attacks were proof of the assignment. The enemy doesn't fight what isn't valuable. You've been a threat since birth. That's why some things didn't come easy. But those battles built your discernment. You learned how to hear the whisper of God in chaos. You learned to depend on faith when logic had no answers. You became unshakable. Not because life was easy, but because grace held you steady. Now the pattern is shifting. The heaviness you've carried is lifting. Divine acceleration is at work. You're about to witness what happens when heaven decides it's time. It won't be gradual. It will be sudden. Phone calls, message, approvals, alignments that seem to come out of nowhere. But they're not coming out of nowhere. They're coming out of obedience. The seeds you planted years ago are finally sprouting. I felt that same tension before. The moment before, everything changed. It's a holy restlessness. A spiritual vibration that tells you, heaven's clock just struck now. I remember feeling like I had nothing left to give. But right after that surrender came the blessing. That's how God works. Just when you release your grip, He places what was meant for you right into your hands. Chosen one. This divine transfer isn't just financial. It's generational. You're breaking cycles your family couldn't break. You're carrying oil your ancestors prayed for but never touched. You are the fulfillment of promises made before your time. That's why the pressure has been so intense, because the anointing on your life carries generational weight. You are being elevated to operate in realms you once only dreamed about. Influence, provision, peace. These aren't rewards. They're responsibilities. You're being trusted with visibility, not for vanity, but for victory. The people connected to your voice are waiting for your obedience. When you rise, they rise. When you believe, they begin to believe again. Chosen one, the light that once intimidated you is now your assignment. You were never meant to blend in. You were meant to break through. What's being released over your life now will confirm everything God ever whispered in private. The same hands that carried you through the wilderness are now placing you in your promise. So, prepare yourself. Clean your space. Clear your mind. Make room, because overflow needs somewhere to land. The wait is over. The wealth, the wisdom, the wonder. It's all converging. Heaven's resources are locating you right now. Chosen one. You can feel it, can't you? The shift in the atmosphere, the quiet sense that something has already changed. Heaven doesn't announce every miracle with thunder. Sometimes it starts with a whisper in your spirit. That stirring you feel isn't imagination. It's invitation. God is calling you into alignment with what has already been released. This next stage of your journey won't look like the last one. You're not repeating cycles. You're redeeming time. The season of survival is ending. Now begins the era of supernatural strategy. God is upgrading your instructions. What once required your sweat will now flow through your surrender. The burden is lifting because the blueprint has changed. You're no longer operating from lack. You're stepping into divine leverage. Anointed one. The Holy Spirit is awakening new creativity, new wisdom, new ideas that carry heaven's fingerprints. They'll arrive as flashes of insight. Sudden clarity in areas that once confused you. Don't dismiss them. These are divine downloads, directions that will lead to provision and partnership. The people and opportunities now approaching you are not coincidences, they're confirmations. Heaven has assigned them to help you build what your prayers once only imagined. I know this phase. It's sacred, but it's stretching. When God starts moving this fast, it can feel like disruption, even loss, old patterns, old friendships, old versions of you begin to fade. Don't fight it. The pruning isn't punishment. It's preparation. I remember when God started removing things from my life. Projects, people, places I thought I needed. At first, it hurt. But later, I realized he wasn't taking, he was making space. Every loss cleared room for what I had been praying for all along. Chosen one, that's what's happening for you right now. You're not being stripped. You're being streamlined. You're stepping into a chapter that requires lightness. Heavy hearts can't hold heavenly assignments. That's why God is teaching you to release faster, forgive deeper, and move freer. You don't have time to carry yesterday into tomorrow. The future you're walking into has no room for old fear. This divine transfer isn't only about wealth. It's about worth. God is reminding you who you are in Him. Chosen, covered, and capable. You are not behind. You are precisely on time. Every perceived delay was heaven syncing your steps with divine order. You are walking into rooms where grace has already gone ahead of you. Anointed one. Expect divine reversal. Situations that looked final will suddenly turn. Phone calls will come. People will remember your name. Opportunities that once ignored you will now invite you. That's what happens when favor begins to flow. You won't have to force it. You'll simply be ready when it finds you. Chosen one. Keep your spirit open and your hands steady. Heaven is transferring weight into your life. Not the heaviness of burden, but the weight of glory. It's responsibility wrapped in reward. You are being trusted with more because you've proven faithful with less. Stay anchored. Keep your heart pure. Don't chase the blessing. Host the presence. The breakthrough is not coming from outside. It's rising from within. Chosen one. This is the part where things begin to accelerate. The rhythm of heaven is picking up around you. What once moved inch by inch will now unfold all at once. This is divine momentum. Not man-made. Not manipulated. But orchestrated. You've waited long enough. Heaven is saying, now. You'll start to notice the signs. Peace returning where confusion once lived. Energy coming back into your body. Unexpected favor. Restored communication. New ideas that wake you up at night. These are not coincidences. They're coordinates. Proof that heaven's map is leading you forward. Don't doubt it just because it feels different. When the spiritual wind shifts, the atmosphere feels strange before it feels familiar. Anointed one, your obedience has activated movement in the unseen. Every act of surrender you made, every yes whispered in secret, has triggered divine motion. You have not been standing still. You've been standing ready. The tests weren't meant to exhaust you, but to train your discernment. Now that your spirit is sharper, heaven can trust you with more. I remember a time when God asked me to step away from what looked secure. Ayub. A circle of people. It didn't make sense then. But only after obedience came the overflow. Provision began to appear in ways I couldn't have imagined. That's when I receive. God never subtracts without intention. Every loss was an investment in my becoming. Chosen one. That same pattern is working in your favor now. You've been stripped of what was temporary so you could hold what's eternal. The blessing that's approaching carries permanence. This next level isn't fleeting success. It's sustainable abundance. God isn't just giving you resources. He's giving you rhythm. You're about to walk in a pace of grace where everything flows. Nothing forces. Be mindful, though. With new levels come new languages. The conversations that once comforted you may start to sound too small. Don't shrink to stay relatable. You're not meant to fit where you've outgrown. God is surrounding you with divine connections. People who speak faith, not fear. Builders, not bystanders. You'll know them by the peace they bring when they enter the room. Chosen one. The warfare is proof of your worth. If the resistance has increased, it's because your influence has expanded. The enemy cannot stop the blessing, but he'll try to distract the believer. That's why heaven is training you to stay focused. Guard your peace like treasure. Protect your time like oil. Your energy is sacred now. Spend it only on what multiplies purpose. As you move through these days, keep your posture open. You're not chasing opportunity. You're hosting destiny. The miracles arriving are not random. They're rehearsed in heaven. You'll feel them before you see them. That nudge in your heart. That name that keeps reappearing. That door that reopens after months of silence. These are the subtle fingerprints of God. Chosen one. Your story is turning a divine corner. The scenery is changing, but so is your spirit. You're lighter, clearer, stronger. This is the evidence that transformation has taken root. Stay grounded. Keep walking. You are not running toward the promise anymore. The promise is running toward you. Chosen one. Take this in. The shift you're feeling is not imagination. It's manifestation. The very atmosphere around your life is being rewritten. Heaven has begun releasing what was once held in reserve. What used to take months will happen in moments because divine timing has caught up to you. You'll soon realize that this isn't just about personal breakthrough. It's about spiritual stewardship. God isn't blessing you just to comfort you. He's commissioning you. The wealth, the wisdom, the opportunities. They are not trophies. They are tools. You're being resourced for a mission much bigger than yourself. The same anointing that once sustained you in lack is now equipping you to operate in overflow. Anointed one. The financial and spiritual transfers that are coming are layered with purpose. You're not receiving this abundance to escape responsibility. You're receiving it to expand influence. Every dollar, every connection, every open door is a delivery of destiny. Heaven is trusting you to handle what others mishandled because your heart stayed pure through the process. I know what it's like to walk that fine line between faith and frustration, to give, serve, and wait, wondering if it was all worth it. I've felt the ache of obedience when it seems like everyone else is moving faster. But I've also seen what happens when God suddenly honors years of hidden faithfulness. Doors swing open, debts dissolve, divine opportunities appear in places you didn't even knock. That's what's next for you. Chosen one. The season of scraping by is over. Chosen one. The spiritual economy surrounding your life is beginning to turn in your direction. You have arrived at a divine threshold where the trials you survived are being transformed into rewards. The pain that once tried to silence you will become the foundation of your testimony. The seasons that made you feel ashamed will soon stand as living proof that God knows how to restore what seemed beyond repair. Chosen one. The anointing upon your life is designed to create real impact. Even in the realm of provision, you will recognize it through inspired ideas, unusual favor, and unexpected resources arriving with supernatural timing. Plans that remained stagnant will begin moving again. The people assigned to help carry the vision will start appearing. God will place your name before the right people and position you in rooms you could never have entered by striving alone, not for recognition, but for kingdom purpose. He is bringing you into spaces where your voice, your abilities, and your testimony can strengthen the lives of others. Do not allow misplaced humility to convince you to hide what heaven is choosing to uncover. You were never created to reduce your light simply so others would feel less challenged by it. When God raises you, it is not pride, it is responsibility. Let your life become evidence that obedience and surrender can produce extraordinary fruit, yet remain rooted. Never forget that prosperity without discernment can disappear, and influence without character cannot endure. This is why God developed you gradually instead of promoting you prematurely. You needed seasons of hidden growth before you could carry visible responsibility. What has been formed inside you is not weak or temporary. It has been strengthened through pressure. Anointed one. Prepare for your reach to expand, but allow your humility to grow even deeper as it does. As greater blessings enter your hands, greater responsibility will come with them, the responsibility to serve, to give, to lead, and to guide. Heaven is not simply congratulating you for making it through the battle. Heaven is commissioning you to become a force of transformation. Chosen one. What is approaching carries both promise and purpose, both miracle and mission. Step into it with confidence. But always remember that the hand raising you higher is the same hand that will keep you steady. Remain rooted in gratitude, and the stream of provision will continue to flow. Chosen one. This coming season is holy. What is unfolding around you is not random. It is heaven, arranging everything with divine precision. Heaven has been preparing people, places, and opportunities in secret, all waiting for your obedience to unlock them. The pieces are about to fit together in ways that will leave you speechless. God is not just changing your season, He's changing your stature. You're about to see what it looks like when grace becomes visible. You've waited long enough. You've endured the pruning, the misunderstandings, and the hidden years when no one saw what God was building inside you. Those silent seasons were never punishment. They were preservation. God was protecting your purity, maturing your discernment, and guarding your oil. Because what you carry now cannot be placed in old environments. The level of glory attached to your next move requires a new atmosphere, and heaven is providing it. Anointed One. This is where heaven's strategy begins to reveal itself. New instructions will start arriving in quiet moments. You'll hear them in prayer, sense them in dreams, or feel them in your spirit while driving or walking. Follow those nudges. Don't second-guess divine direction just because it feels unfamiliar. The unknown is God's classroom. I remember when the Lord led me into a space that made no sense at first. I lost comfort, routine, and what I thought was stability. But in that wilderness, I found wisdom. The lessons were costly but necessary. And later, when the harvest came, I understood the wilderness wasn't a setback. It was a setup. The same will be true for you. Chosen One. Every dry place was preparation for the abundance that's about to flood your life. But hear this clearly. With new revelation comes new responsibility. The blessings that are coming are not random. They are assignments. Heaven doesn't release provision without purpose. You are being equipped to fund visions, to build, to uplift, to become a conduit of change. Your overflow isn't just for comfort. It's for calling. When God blesses you, He's blessing through you. Chosen One. That's why integrity will be your greatest currency in this next phase. Many will admire your rise, but few will understand the weight that comes with it. Stay anchored in prayer. Keep your circle pure. The same humility that kept you in the valley will sustain you on the mountain. And never forget, influence without intimacy with God leads to burnout, but abundance with alignment brings peace. You're stepping into a season where your very presence will carry evidence of divine favor. Environments will shift when you walk in. Conversations will change when you speak. People will sense peace simply because you showed up. That's not ego. That's essence. It's the radiance of someone who's been refined in fire and released in favor. Anointed One. This is your confirmation. You are walking into a divine unveiling. The covering is lifting. The preparation is complete. What once felt delayed was only being developed. Now, the curtain is about to open, and heaven is about to display what it's been perfecting within you. Chosen One. The world will soon witness what obedience looks like when it matures. Stay ready. Stay pure. Stay positioned, because the spotlight that's coming isn't for fame. It's for fulfillment. Chosen One. Take a deep breath. This is the part where heaven begins to make everything public. The private battles, the hidden seasons, the prayers no one heard. They're all converging into one undeniable display of divine favor. You're about to see how every invisible moment was building visible glory. What's coming next won't just bless you. It will announce you. You're stepping into what I call the evidence era, This is when your obedience begins to speak louder than your words. People who doubted you will see the fruit. They'll witness what happens when someone refuses to quit on God. But remember this. You're not being exalted to prove anyone wrong. You're being elevated to prove God right. Anointed one. Heaven is placing you in environments where your name will carry divine weight. These aren't coincidences. These are confirmations. Invitations will start arriving that you didn't apply for. Rooms you never imagined being in will suddenly open. It won't make sense in the natural because it's supernatural alignment. You've been faithful in the hidden place. Now, heaven is making you visible for kingdom purpose. But, hear me, this is where many lose focus. They mistake recognition for reward. Recognition isn't the end. It's the beginning of responsibility. God doesn't crown you for applause. He anoints you for assignment. Every new level of favor requires a deeper level of faith. The same God who opens doors will also test your posture once you walk through them. Stay low. Stay grateful. Stay yielded. I've experienced that tension myself. The awe of new doors opening mixed with the weight of realizing I had to grow to carry them. God doesn't give you more to crush you. He gives you more to call you higher. The blessing comes with stretching. The favor comes with fire. But each time you rise, you'll find He's already there, waiting. Chosen one. This new visibility isn't just about what you'll receive. It's about what you'll reveal. You are about to embody breakthrough itself. Your peace will preach. Your success will speak. Your life will become the sermon. People will look at you and see what divine alignment really looks like. Not forced, not fabricated, but favored. And yet, even now, God whispers, don't forget who you are. You didn't build this. You obeyed. You didn't chase this. You surrendered. And that's why heaven can trust you with it. You've proven that humility isn't weakness. It's wisdom. You've learned that elevation without ego is possible when your heart stays anchored in gratitude. Anointed one. This is your royal reveal. The crown doesn't come after the storm. It's forged inside it. You are not the same person who began this journey. The wilderness made you wiser. The waiting made you stronger. The warfare made you unstoppable. You are walking proof that nothing surrendered to God ever stays small. Chosen one, brace yourself, because what's next is not gradual growth. It's sudden unveiling. The light is about to hit your life in full measure. And when it does, don't heed her. Shine, because this glory was never meant to be kept private. Chosen one. You've come too far to doubt what's happening now. The spiritual winds are shifting in your favor, and the evidence will soon be undeniable. Heaven has already signed what's being released. And this is the moment it touches earth. The transfer isn't just coming to you. It's moving through you. You've been chosen to be a vessel, a distributor of divine resources, a carrier of supernatural light in dark places. Everything you've walked through was training for stewardship. The waiting refined your wisdom. The warfare refined your faith. The tears refined your vision. God didn't just want to bless you. He wanted to build you. Because now what's being entrusted to you must not be mishandled. Heaven is calling you to lead differently. Not through noise, but through presence. Not through force, but through flow. Anointed one. You'll begin to notice that your influence expands quietly, without striving. People will seek your peace more than your opinions. Opportunities will find you because of your consistency. Your name will be mentioned in conversations you didn't know existed. But it won't be luck. It will be legacy. The reward of endurance is recognition from heaven before validation from man. I've seen this pattern in my own journey. There were times I thought I was forgotten, moments I watched others accelerate while I was still waiting. But when my appointed time arrived, it was so clear, so divine. I realized why I couldn't have moved earlier. God had to let me grow into the person who could carry what he promised. The same is true for you. Chosen one, you're not late. You're right on heaven's schedule. This next phase is the manifestation of what's been whispered over your life for years. You'll see divine reimbursements, time restored, peace returned, opportunities reintroduced. Things you thought were gone forever will resurface better than before. Heaven never forgets the faithful. You planted seeds in tears. Now you'll harvest in laughter. Chosen one. This transfer goes beyond finances. It's a total recalibration. Emotional, spiritual, physical. Expect divine health to return to your body. Expect clarity to flood your mind. Expect your environment to align with your new energy. Everything that once drained you will now empower you. The old chapter has expired. The page has turned. But remember this: with greater blessing comes greater balance. Protect your peace as fiercely as your purpose. Not every invitation deserves your presence. Not every connection deserves your commitment. God is surrounding you with the chosen circle, people who match your mission, who speak your language, who guard your oil. Anointed one. Your journey is a testimony that endurance produces elevation. You didn't break. You blossomed. You didn't fail. You were forged. Every storm was heaven's strategy to reveal strength you didn't know you had. Chosen one. Receive this as your confirmation. The pieces have fallen into place. Heaven's alignment has been established. The release is already moving. And what was hidden is beginning to be revealed. Move forward with calm assurance. You are no longer standing somewhere outside of your breakthrough, waiting for it to arrive. Your transformed life is becoming the evidence of that breakthrough. The light God has placed within you will reach far beyond your own generation. So rise with courage, shine without fear, and step confidently toward the future appointed for you. What heaven has initiated in your life cannot be cancelled by earthly resistance. The world is preparing to see what becomes possible when divine timing encounters a heart fully yielded to God. Chosen one. You have arrived at the hour that heaven has been preparing you to enter. This is not simply where a message ends. It is where another chapter of your life begins. The divine transfer is no longer approaching. It is already in motion. You can sense the evidence within your spirit, the unusual peace, the deeper alignment, the quiet power reorganizing circumstances around you. You are standing inside your Kairos moment, that sacred intersection where everything you endured in preparation finally meets what God promised. Anointed one, heaven is open above your life. What seemed postponed is now beginning to arrive. The anointing resting upon you is moving without restriction, opening entrances that no human hand has the authority to shut. You are beginning to walk according to heaven's rhythm, where provision connects with purpose and grace accompanies every level of growth. Seeds you planted through faith, obedience, sacrifice, and prayer are beginning to awaken. Let this become your reminder that God never overlooked you, never misplaced your name, and never abandoned what he promised concerning your life. As you move beyond this message, hold tightly to this truth. Your journey is becoming living evidence that heaven still brings divine order out of seasons that once appeared chaotic. You were refined because your life carries purpose. You were prepared because this moment required a stronger version of you. You were chosen for an hour such as this. Continue walking with gratitude in your heart, obedience in your steps, and expectation alive within your spirit. The God who began this work in you is faithful to bring it toward completion according to his perfect timing. If these words bear witness within your spirit, seal your agreement through faith. Write, "I receive it," in the comments, as a declaration that you are ready to walk into what God is releasing. Remain connected. Chosen one, because deeper revelation is still ahead. Until we meet again, protect your alignment. Remain rooted in God, and keep the spiritual fire within you burning brightly. The transfer is moving, your breakthrough is taking shape before your eyes, and heaven has not finished writing the next pages of your story.